Bitcoin is going to the moon, or at least that is what they want you to think. Will this time really be different? Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about a few reasons why I think this time is not going to be so much different, and due to the world economic situation, Bitcoin is probably, this past rally was probably just a sucker's rally. My name is Mac, and this is Cryptstar Staking, your #1 source of crypto news on the tube. And before we get started into the main discussion regarding the Bitcoin price and the catalyst as to why I think Bitcoin will probably not do so well in the near future, we're going to talk about the recent debacle with Elon Musk and Tesla selling 75% of their Bitcoin holdings back in Q2 of this year. Now, they sold $936 million of Bitcoin, which directly correlated to the Luna Terra collapse, as well as the Celsius debacle. It's very sad, but at the same time, Elon, he pumped the hell out of Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and then he also ended up being the one who started pretty much the series of liquidations across all of the different DeFi and CeFi applications. Now, I think this really goes to show how much confidence Tesla actually has in Bitcoin. They did sell 75% of their holdings. Now, if they had no confidence in Bitcoin whatsoever, they would have sold everything and it would have been deemed a pump and dump scheme. However, they did keep 25%, which shows that the Tesla analysts know that the economy is going to crap, and from now on, they need to go more risk averse. So they decided to go ahead and sell 75% of their holdings. And because they kept the 25%, it makes me think that their analysts are thinking, hey, you know what? We could probably buy back Bitcoin around $10,000 to $20,000, get almost, 50% more. And so we could sell right now at $30,000 and then pick it up later cheaper when the economy goes to crap. And all these fake pumper guys out there saying, oh, Bitcoin's going to the moon, it's going to be different this time. It's not going to be different. History repeats itself. And that actually goes into my next topic, which is the FOMC meeting later this week. Now, as we all know, inflation has gone crazy. I'm here back in Oregon, Portland, woo-woo. Inflation is just crazy. It costs $1.79 to buy a bean burrito now. I mean, last time I was here, it was like 99 cents or something. Inflation has just gone crazy. Gas is crazy, and the Federal Reserve, that's their job to actually curb inflation, to stop inflation. That's actually their #1 priority. And they're the only ones who have the power to actually do it. They're the only ones who have the tools to do it. And they're having their meeting next week on the 26th and 27th, and they're going to decide whether or not we're going to do a 50 basis point hike, a 75 basis point hike, or a 100 basis point hike. Now, if they decide to do a 50 basis point hike, that would be very dovish, and that means the Bitcoin price will probably go up. However, this seems rather unlikely right now, considering that Canada just did a 100 basis point hike. Now, it's quite likely that they'll do a 75 basis point hike. And this is pretty much already priced into the Bitcoin equities market. We're pretty much sure it's going to be 75 points, but there is still a possibility that we could do a 100 basis point hike. Now, if the US does decide to copy Canada, that's exactly what's going to happen. And this is going to be very bearish news for Bitcoin as well as the equities market. The stock markets and Bitcoin are pretty heavily correlated. Bitcoin is not quite yet seen as a safe store of value. Sadly, that's kind of what we wanted, but that's not quite what we have yet. And maybe we'll see that in the future, who knows? But for right now, facts are facts, and Bitcoin is very correlated to the stock market. And the stock market is very correlated to what the Federal Reserve does. If they're printing more money, stocks go up. If they stop printing money, stocks go down. That's just the way things work. Now, from there, we also have the GDP data coming out on the 28th. And that, I believe, is next Thursday. And this is a topic that not that many people are talking about. I've heard about it on YouTube, I've heard about it on Twitter a little bit, and I listen to a few economic podcasts, and they talk about it quite a bit actually, but they're kind of boring to listen to. So I just want to kind of bring this to your guys' attention. The GDP announcement will come out next week, and it's more than likely we're in a recession. And that basically happens when we have two basically negative GDP reports in a row. So Q2 is negative. Now, if Q3 is negative as well, then basically, I think it's monthly. So if the second month is also negative, then that means that we are officially in a recession. So yeah, that is definitely going to have a huge effect on the stock market and therefore the Bitcoin price on top of that. So you guys just make sure that you are paying attention to the GDP meeting as well as the FOMC meeting next week and kind of move your portfolio around accordingly. And make sure you use a risk aversion strategy. I highly recommend that. Me personally, I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for the Bitcoin price to go back down to $15,000 or so. I think that 6-month bear market isn't really realistic. We're gonna have probably another 2-year bear market, and we haven't really hit a real crypto winter yet. I lived through 2017, 2018, and that was a real crypto winter. You know, things went down 99%. I mean, Bitcoin's barely down, I think 60, 70% now. It went up to $60,000 for a couple days, but it wasn't like a crazy, like way up there, you know? To me, I think that it's quite likely we're going to go down to $10,000. Now, this is all my personal opinion. Please just, take it with a grain of salt. I think the last topic I want to cover today regarding the Bitcoin price, at least, they said it did shoot above the 200-day moving average. Now, that's one reason I'm like, the pumpers do this on purpose because they want people to get a bullish sentiment for Bitcoin, so that way they can pull more suckers in and they can dump on the suckers. And it's just the way Bitcoin works, it's the way equities market works. They make the technical analysis in a way so that it looks like Bitcoin has had a reversal and that we're gonna go to all-time highs again. And just be aware these trend lines and everything, it's all technical. It has nothing to do with the macroeconomic situation of the world right now. And it's very, very important to pay attention to the big picture and not just the microeconomic situation or the trend lines and graphs. They don't always give you exactly the correct answer. Anyways, I'm just giving you guys the macro outlook to go along with any of your technical analysis you guys are doing. Personally, I don't do that much technical analysis. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to some bullish news for Ethereum. It was announced that Ethereum is going to go ahead and move to proof of stake on September 19th, and that is basically in 2 months from now. Very exciting. We went ahead and set up a Ethereum 2.0 node here at Cryptstar Staking. It's working really well. It doesn't seem to have any issues. Very excited for the ETH 2.0 to actually, start and be released and for the migration to happen. A piece of FUD regarding this was that a lot of the current stakers will be dumping on the market right after the ETH 2.0 goes live. Now, I just want to kind of stomp this FUD on the ground. Boom. Yeah, it's not true. There is a 6-month waiting period to go ahead and unlock your Ethereum. So as soon as ETH 2.0 hits, we have to wait 6 months before we can unlock our tokens. And even then, only a certain amount of people can unlock per epoch. And I think it's like 4 validators can unlock per epoch. So it'll take a couple months for everyone to unlock. This is actually to prevent a bank rush going on for Ethereum. They don't want the crazy volatility because people unlocking and out of fear and everything. And I think that they learned this from the normal equity markets as well as the bank run in Canada as well as previous bank runs. And this is a solution that blockchain can solve. So yeah, thumbs up to Ethereum. Great work, guys. Very excited to see what happens with Ethereum 2.0 in the future. Proof of stake, I believe, is the future. And moving on from proof of work, which is very, very decentralized, to proof of stake, I think it's kind of a cool migration because if you start decentralized, it's much easier to stay decentralized. But if you start centralized, it's hard to kind of give out power once you have it all, right? So this is very, very cool in my opinion, and I'm very excited to see what happens. Anyways, thank you guys for viewing, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay safe in this bear market rally, and peace out.